play some folks on the weekend. So waiting on Addy. We do this every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. It's Streamer Spotlight. We interview a streamer, whether it be Twitch, whether it be Mixer, whether YouTube, Facebook, wherever they stream from. They are more than welcome. So thank you guys for being on in here. If you want to sign up for the Spotlight, !Spotlight is the way to sign up. We in the meantime, I'll tell you who we got coming up this week for the rest of the week. We got Addy today. We got Killa McGillicuddy tomorrow. Activision on Wednesday. Amber Plaster on Thursday. My guest on Friday, Gambit Etiquette. We're gonna have to reschedule with her. We're probably gonna move her back into August 8th if she's available that day. So that's what we got up. That's what we got coming up the rest of the week. Next week we got Awoken Queen, Cloud Strife, Tiamat, and Toko Ray, and the Personality Twins. Excuse me. The week after that, Red Queen, Pretty Petty, Al Bell, Never Say Die. We have so many people coming up. That's you. Killa McGillicuddy is tomorrow. PG Rising, hello. So we have plenty of guests coming up here on the Streamer Spotlight. And sign up. Sign up. If you know anybody she lost her voice at San Diego Comic-Con. She got that con plague. Yeah, I got a message today from Gambit Etiquette that she couldn't come on. And I'm probably going to try to book her on August 8th. In fact, I'm just going to send her a message right now. So right now we're just waiting for Addy, who is our guest. So yeah, we do this every morning, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And we are just waiting for Addy. She's looking for headphones. Good morning, BG Rising. Good morning, Starry Night, Pretty Petty. Everybody that's in here this morning, thank you so much for being here. If this is the first time here, my name is David. And this is my channel, Guardian Outpost. We stream Destiny here every day. And I love to support other streamers. And there's Addy, and she's in. So we're going to get her in here in a minute. So yeah, we do this every morning. Addy was supposed to be our streamer. Yes, Addy was supposed to be our streamer on July 8th, but she had a thing that came up. It's funny because I remember she sent me a message. She sent me a message and I wasn't able to answer for like a couple days. And I know what she was thinking. She was probably thinking, oh no, Gio's mad at me. Oh no, he's mad at me. Oh no, he's mad at me. I know it. I know how that goes. So Addy is our guest here on the Streamer Spotlight. Addy, hello.
Hello.
Hello. I know you were freaking out because you sent me that message. You're like, oh God, Gio hasn't answered me.
I know, I was proper freaking because I was like, oh God, he's gonna hate me. He's not gonna want to talk to me. Oh no.
No. I never hate anybody. So, of course there was no way I could hate you. But I know, listen, you know, I know how it is. You send a message to somebody and then you don't get a reply within a few hours. You're like, oh God, they hate me. What did I do?
Yeah.
Did I piss them off?
Yeah. It's literally just like, oh my God, no, please.
You literally, you messaged me while I was at Guardian Con. So I remember waking up, taking a shower, doing all the things, and then, you know, going down to the convention floor. And then I get up to my room and I'm like, oh, I got a message from Addy. Oh my God, it was like 12 hours ago. Let me reply to her right now.
I knew that it would probably be delayed in your replying because obviously Guardian Con was obviously hugely busy for everybody. So I wasn't expecting like an answer straight away. But obviously, like, even if you know someone's busy and they haven't responded, you're just like, oh God, what are they going to say?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, the anxiety monster is strong.
Oh yeah.
And the anxiety monster's like, well, he's obviously not answering you because he hates you. You must have pissed him off. What did you do, Addy?
Yeah, exactly. It's a huge struggle sometimes.
So that is RoboticAdi, our guest here on the Streamer Spotlight. We rescheduled her till today. Everything's okay, right? I know that you had to. It was a work-related thing that you had to go to that meeting for.
Yeah, so in the UK, I'm obviously a single mother of a 3-year-old, and I get financial assistance from the government. But of course, Twitch streaming in itself is a relatively new thing for earning money with. and the where I get financial assistance from, that's also relatively new. So trying to put two really new things together is really difficult. But if I hadn't gone to that appointment, they would have stopped the assistance that I receive, and that would have left me in a really bad situation. So
So that's really good. Yeah. I mean, did you have to tell them about the streaming at all or no?
yeah. So like genuinely it's classed as self-employment, obviously. You're fine, Willow. Sorry, my
By
child
the way,
is
can we
awake.
get some love in the chat for single mothers? My mom was a single mother, and I know how tough it is. I mean, my wife and I are raising one kid, and it's really tough. And it's
Mm.
really tough. So we get some love in chat for single mothers. Go ahead, tell me
Aw.
what did they what did you have to tell them?
So basically, I'd said to them at this point in time that I was, in fact, is it so cute? Okay. So basically, below. Basically, they had to. I said that that I was self-employed and everything like that. But they had the financial yes, Willow, the financial assistance that I get from the government fluctuates on a month-to-month basis. Um, Depending on how much I earn, and so that I obviously you yourself know that like is not a Twitch is not a constant
It's not as
specific amount.
stable. Yeah, you can't count
Yeah,
on, 1 month you make X amount, the next month could be X, could be more or less.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so it's never very stable. So yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I get.
So that's the problem that I had with it. It was like so we had to. It was a specialized appointment with someone who is knowledgeable in the self-employment sector, although not in Twitch streaming itself. So it's always very difficult to try and because most people that are in the job center that I visit, um, they're of the older generation, 50s, 60s, and stuff. So they're not that aware of how of the internet in general. For most people that I meet, anyway. So yeah.
That's really good. Now, explain the trials and tribulations of being a single mother and trying to stream.
Well, so I actually started streaming when I was in a relationship. My boyfriend at the time was also interested in streaming, so like we were like, oh yeah, let's set up a channel together, blah 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 blah. However, he had recently just taken a job, so it turned out it was just me that was streaming. Obviously, we are now no longer together, and it's very very difficult. Because obviously, you're um your main focus is your children. So speaking of, she's upset that she's not getting cookies.
She's upset that she's
Mm-hmm.
not getting the attention. Bone J, thank you so much for that host. I appreciate you, man.
No, she's wanting cookies, even though she's had a cookie and she's not having any more because dinner's soon. Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah,
don't.
I
They
know.
don't. They don't know
Exactly.
about. Hey, listen. You only have to have one cookie right now. One cookie later. It doesn't get any better. My daughter is 4, and I still have to. I still have to explain to her. Have one cookie now, and then you can have another one after dinner.
Yeah,
They still don't.
exactly. Yeah, so it's difficult because you want to try. Um, there's days where I would like to sit and chat with everybody, and various different Twitch streams.
I love you
You want
3000.
to be able to make friends and everything like that. But obviously, primarily the first thing that comes in is Willow. But if it wasn't for the community that I had, there's been several points in my in my streaming time that I wouldn't have you know made it through without the community, if that makes sense. When I first had Willow, I was diagnosed with postnatal depression,
Mm.
um,
That's
and
tough.
over time,
That's really
yeah,
really tough.
it's really really tough. And I just wish that it was talked about more. Really, you
Really
know what I
isn't.
mean? There's like,
It really isn't
yeah,
talked about that much. It's like you had a baby. You should be happy. Oh my
yeah.
god, no.
Never mind that you feel like you're a cow. Where like, it's nuts. It's nuts.
So
It's a
many
lot of hard
factors.
work.
I know my wife didn't suffer full forced, but I know that she was a little bit after we had our daughter. Um,
And that's
she
totally
had she had a
understandable.
little bit of it, but
Yeah.
we had a ton of support though. Her mom was here every day. My mom was here every day. We had constant flow of friends coming in, so we were very fortunate on that. How did you discover streaming? Where did you learn about streaming?
I yes, darling. We're under the duvet. Okay. So I quite a few years ago, it must have been like 16 or something like that. Um, where some of my friends had been talking about Twitch or talking about streaming and stuff like that, and like the ability to make money via gaming and stuff. Um, and I'd looked it out and whatever, and back when I was like, 17 or something like that, I just tried to give it a go myself, but it was from a really really rubbish laptop, so there was no way for me to do it. But it wasn't until my ex-partner had mentioned it that I really decided that, you know what, let's give it a go. And I can actually probably lay part of it down with my ex-partner, and also to do with Destiny, because Destiny 1 brought me so many good friends, and that was just on Xbox. That was nothing to do with streaming. I met some random person um, in Prison of Elders. They invited me into a party, and then that was it. Like, I made friends from there. Um, so then when Destiny 2 came out, I played a lot of it on the Xbox and everything like that. And it was only after uh, just about April last year, I was like, I had a PC that I was able to play games on. I was like, do you know what? Now's probably a good time to try and stream, to try and see, if I could do something with it, if I could bring a smile to someone's day. So for quite a while, though, I'd lurked on Twitch. I got into um like a small circle of people that I visited on the regular. The Bonge is one of them. Um,
Or how I call him, the Bone J.
the Bone J.
For real. I've been
Yeah.
the first time he came to my channel, I go, "Hello, Bone J," and then everyone's like, "Hey Gio, it's a Bonge." Oh, okay, Bone J. Hello. It's my way of showing my love to the Bone J.
Exactly. Mm.
So, Addie, I
So,
gotta know the accent. It's so great. Where
I love you
where, where, are you,
3000.
where are you from? Um, where's that accent from? I mean, I know where it's from, but to those that don't know, I love your accent.
thank you. I'm from the north of Scotland, so there's a little city, which is it's a glorified town really, called Inverness. Next, it's just a few miles away from Loch Ness, where the Loch Ness monster
Oh, so you live near
resides.
you live near the lake,
Yes, I
Loch
live
Ness
near
Lake.
Nessie. Well, I used to. I used to live near Nessie, but I moved down to the centre of Scotland in Glasgow. It's one of the major cities.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
my
Is
mum lives
Nessie
down
real?
here. Yes,
I mean, you have to say that. You have to say that because you want people to visit the lake. How big is that
well,
lake? It's like huge, right?
it's pretty big. It is pretty big. There's Jacobite cruises that can take you across it, and you can go on a Nessie hunt yourself. I thoroughly believe that Nessie is real. It's just a very reclusive dinosaur.
I watched a
I love
I
you
watched a
3000.
YouTube video the other day on on Nessie, where supposedly the photographer that caught Nessie, all he did was put like a toy dinosaur in the
Oh,
a
yeah.
toy dinosaur in the water, and then he zoomed in a lot, and then took the picture like, look, I found Nessie, and that's the picture that everybody sees. That's the picture that everybody sees. But that's really cool. I love your accent. Do you get that a lot? Do a lot of people come into your channel and be like, I love your accent?
Yes, it's quite frequent. I get people that come in and say, oh, "Where are you from? I really like your accent." That happened last night. I get people who I've known for ages that are still like, "Hey, your accent's still rad," and it's like, okay, well, sometimes people don't quite get what I say because I have a habit of speaking too fast. So some people are like, "What?" I get confused with Irish an awful lot. A lot of people think that I'm Irish, which is funny, but I can see it.
You can hear it, obviously.
Yeah, yeah,
Are there
absolutely.
any accents out there in pop culture that anger you? Like, that's not how we sound.
Yes. There's I can't even remember, but there was this I think there was this TV show that I was watching, and it was such a horrendous Scottish accent that I just turned off the TV. It was a few years ago. I can't remember what it was, but I was just like, no, that's to
Was
be
it Mel
fair.
Gibson?
It could have been. Braveheart is not. Um,
You may take my life, but you cannot take my freedom.
well, yeah. um, the only it's really strange for a lot of people to say, I like your accent, blah 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 blah, because I don't, to me personally, I don't sound Scottish. There might be a couple of words that I'll say, or when I'm telling Willow off, I'll sound especially Scottish. But most of the time, it's the same as anybody else. You don't think that you have an accent until someone really points it out.
Yeah.
So it
I've
can
been
get
told
quite
on
funny.
many occasions that I have a Miami accent. And I'm like, a Miami accent? And then my wife will tell me, like, yeah, when you speak a lot, like when I speak a lot of Spanish and then I go back to speaking English, I have sometimes like that Miami boy accent. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a kind of like a Miami thing. You come here to Miami to kind of hear it. Addie, when if I ever go, to someone that's never been to your stream, what can they expect?
A lot of laughter is generally what happens. Um, I just sit and I play Destiny. The past 3 days, we were attempting the solo flawless Shattered Throne. We finally got it last night. It was insane. But I do PVE content. On Thursdays, it's become Teach Me Thursday. So Thursdays become unfortunately at the moment it's only available. I'm only able to help people on PC. But Teach Me Thursdays are all about teaching people or taking people through raids or any difficult kind of content. I'm quite happy to teach and everything like that. Sometimes I do PvP. I get mad at it and I swear. So like my stream is very much a swearing nudity based stream. It's not child friendly in the slightest.
Of course not.
The other thing we do is every second Sunday we do lore stream.
Oh.
So a while ago, Bonge was actually the one that really helped me make up my mind with this. Was that although there's a lot of lore masters on YouTube, there's not. I haven't seen much in the way of people going into lore on stream. So it became a thing where I'd sat and I was like, right, okay, do I do this? And basically what I do is some people do not have the time to sit and read the lore in game. They may have to be doing something else or whatever. So on a Sunday, I'll choose either a certain book from Destiny 2 lore, which has been a saving grace from Bungie. I'm so thankful that they did it, that they decided to make books.
By the way, when you just said saving grace, I just went, oh. Saving grace. Oh. It's been a saving grace. Oh.
Saving grace.
Oh, so awesome.
Um, but other times, if I'm looking at doing stuff from D1, I'll actually probably spend up to a week putting together notes and grimoire cards and stuff. And literally, what I do is I just sit on stream and I read it. After every chapter or every break, after every like paragraph or so, I'll take a break and I'll see if there's any questions that I can help answer, if there's any debates. It's something that lore is something that I'm extremely passionate about. So
I'm gonna have to check that out because I have been playing Destiny 5 years now, and
mm-hmm.
now is when I'm really starting to get into the lore. The other night I was bothering my wife. We were in bed. And I kept watching lore video after lore video on Vault of Glass. I'm like trying to catch up on stuff that I've missed. And then last night I was watching some Mylan games. I've been watching a lot of Bife. I'm gonna have to come by on Sunday and take a listen to you reading some lore. I've been trying to get more into the lore of
Mm-hmm.
Destiny. It took me 5 years. At first, I was like, I'm just here to shoot things in the face, yo, yo, yo. But now I'm all about reading more lore. So that's awesome. That sounds really, really good. What's your end game with streaming? What is it that you want to eventually do with it?
Part of the thing that I really want to do is, as I've touched on before, I want to kind of create a platform where I can have people very open about their mental health, whether it be depression, anxiety, PTSD, all that kind of stuff. For me, it's really mental health is a huge thing for me, especially after I suffered from depression from mid-teens. And it slowly ebbed and it came back, and it really hit me when I had Willow. And a lot of people don't talk about postnatal depression and what that can make you feel, especially in regards to your own child.
Yeah.
For me, it was like I was just like, I'm just going to give Willow to her father and I'm going to run away.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be able to create a space where someone can turn around and say that and they won't be ashamed of how that makes them look. Because that was one thing for me, was that I was really worried about saying to the doctor or saying to her father at the time, like,
sometimes you just want to smush
really
your
awful.
face. You love her, but sometimes you just want to smush her face.
Just want to run away and not have that responsibility.
And it doesn't make you a bad mother. It's just, it's just the way it makes you feel. Yeah, it's a big, you're going from not having a kid to having a kid, and going from not having that much responsibility to having a ton of responsibility. And yeah, it's a real thing. And I'm glad that you, I know my wife would appreciate that, and other moms would definitely appreciate that.
Yeah,
if it's spoken about, it's something that we talk
absolutely.
about. Anxiety, depression, PTSD, manic depression, all that is talked about. But when it comes to postpartum depression, I would call it here in America, people don't talk about that much. So I'm glad that you're using your platform to speak on that.
It's almost as if it's taboo that you've been blessed with this child. You should not feel sad. You should not feel this, that, and the next thing. And I just think it's a whole heap of horseshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just it's I love my daughter. There's nothing that I wouldn't do for my daughter. But when I first had her, I was a mess. The other thing that I do, sometimes my day is literally just, I'm going to cook up stream. I'm going to see what I'm going to do. And it ends up being one of the best streams that I've had.
Yeah.
Aside from the planned days, I have no idea what I'm doing. Even as I hit the live button, I don't have major plans. Eventually, maybe down the line, I'd want to push something or whatever, but I'm just astounded by the amount of support and the growth that I've had in about a year and a half now of streaming.
You're working on that content. That's all that matters. Yeah. Worry about all that other stuff later. Work on that content first. Perfect that content, and the people will come. And I know, I've definitely watched your stream, and It's a lot of fun to hang out there, and you are a Gambit queen, so we're not gonna let that one. We're not gonna let that one slide by. It's so funny how you and I ran into each other the other day. I'm like, is that like? Wait a minute, she's all the way across the pond, and I run into her on Gambit.
I was really confused about that.
Wait
I
a
don't
minute.
know.
I live in Florida. She lives in
Match.
Scotland. How is it that we ran into each other? That we ran into each other on Gambit. And I remember I'm like, I really needed the light versus light drive at the time. I'm like, Addie, pop your super, let me kill you.
I really wish I could have. If you're still looking for that, I can
Done.
totally.
No, I got it done. Thank goodness.
Did you? Oh,
I
good.
finished it last week. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted the video of me finally completing it there. It was crazy. So, Addie, when do you stream? Let us know when you stream so people could come by and check you out.
I stream pretty much every day. The only I'll at 7. See, it's very, very difficult with Willow. I stream when she goes to bed.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes she'll go to bed at like 6:30 at night. Some days she won't go to sleep until 8:30. So it's between, I would say between 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. starting time GMT. So that
7
would be
p.m., 8 p.m. So that would be around 2 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock
2 o'clock Eastern. Yeah.
Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Yeah, of course, follow her on Twitter, RoboticAdi as well on Twitter. Follow her there. Slap on those notifications. You find out when she's streaming. So, Addie, thank you so much for being here. It's really great. I really do hope you continue that platform in postpartum depression. It really is important to talk about. There's a lot of things that a lot of women get it. It's actually very common, and for you to speak on it is really great.
Yeah, I don't particularly want to be like, shoving it in people's faces and stuff. But if people come in and they're talking about, any mental health issues that they have, I kind of relate to them. You know what I mean? I'm like, well,
you don't have to shove
this
it
is
in their
my
face.
experience.
You can just talk about your experience.
Yeah, exactly, and that's all you can do.
Yeah, I always feel like you can't, if you want to talk about something, you share your experience, and then you hope somebody relates. If nobody relates, then you move on. If people start relating, then you talk about it. You know what I mean? So that's how I, like, whenever people ask me for advice, I always try to like avoid it. So what I'll do is, like, if somebody asks me for advice, I'll give them something similar that happened to me, and hopefully that helps them as well. But it's really
you give
good.
them the lesson that you learned instead of trying to tell them what to do.
Exactly. Nailed it. Addie, you have a great day. Go take care of that baby, all right?
I shall. That was an absolute pleasure, Gio.
Thank you. Let's do it again. And let's
Thank you
play
for
some
having
Gambit
me.
again soon, okay?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, take care.
Bye.